Today we'll be creating this makeup look using only 5 Jones Road products. I will be using a little bit of skincare just because I think skin prep is super important in how your makeup lays throughout the day. Ensuring that you have proper skin prep will mean that your foundation won't pill or it won't flake. It won't settle into fine lines. Skin prep is definitely the key for achieving a beautiful makeup look. So let's go ahead and get started. Before diving into the makeup, I always like to prep the skin. For today, I'll be using the Rhode Glazing Milk. Give it a good shake. Dot a little bit of that into the palm of my hand. This will add some hydration to the skin. The eye cream is one of my all-time favorites. I always use this to prep the under eyes before going in with the face pencils. I also use it on all of my clients. I'll also prep the skin with the oil stick. This is a solid balm that turns into an oil, so you can directly roll it on. You could also use the oil stick when you're finished doing makeup as a refresher throughout the day. You could put a little on your fingers and tap it on your under eyes. That will just refresh the makeup and give your skin a little more life. Another honorable mention is the hippie stick. This is one of my all-time favorite Jones Road products. It's meant to be used in like outdoor environments like skiing, or if you have a long flight, you can slather it all over your face. You could use it anywhere where you're really dry. I love to use it as a giant chapstick. It's one of my all-time favorites. The last step in my skin prep is SPF. This is the Kosas SPF. It has a little bit of luminosity too. I think it's really pretty underneath makeup. Here's how much I'm putting on. While we wait for the skincare to absorb, then I'll start on my eye makeup. I never skip this step. Even if I'm not wearing makeup, I'm always sure to give my lashes a little lift. I usually pulse it out and do the other side. Jones Road mascara is one of my all-time favorite mascaras out there. This is a clean formula, so it can be really hard to get a very black, clean formula. It has a curved edge to it, so you could hug the lash line with that curve. I love this mascara because it's very thickening and volumizing. It's layerable and it doesn't transfer or flake throughout the day. Usually it takes me a few days to love a mascara just while, you know, it gets exposure to oxygen. I find that I usually am not a fan of mascara right away, but then it takes a few days for me to really get a feel for if I love that mascara or not. If you get really hot and sweaty, you won't see this transfer onto your lid. It stays really well. Just brushing through and wiggling back and forth. I'll usually do a few coats of mascara. I like to layer it while it's still a little bit wet. Usually if I'm in a rush, the first thing I do is curl the lashes and put mascara on. And usually some days that's all I need. My lashes are looking good. They're actually looking a bit longer than usual. I've been using this brow serum, and then whatever's left over, I'll kind of rub a little on my lash line. And I've noticed a difference even after a few days. I've been trying to grow out my brows and I'm already seeing some growth. If you struggle with sparse brows, I'll add that one below so you can check it out if that's a concern of yours. The eyes are done. I'm gonna move on to the skin. This is Sun-Kissed. This is my all-time favorite Miracle Balm color. This is my second pot of it. It looks really pigmented in the container, but it shears out beautifully on the skin. I'll rub my finger into it and I'll swipe it on. I'm placing this wherever the sun would naturally hit my face. Because I don't really have much else other than skincare underneath, I can really rub this around. Also, putting skincare on and making your skin nice and hydrated can create more slip for the Miracle Balm, and you'll find that it's easier to blend around on the skin too. In the wintertime, I love sandwiching the Miracle Balm on, so I'll put it on first, put foundation on, and then put it on at the very end too, just for that additional moisture. I'll move on to the under eyes. These are the face pencils. I have a neutralizer as well, so they're the exact same formula. I like pairing them together, so I'll use Fair Pink first, and then I'll go over top with shade 3. My eyes have been prepped from the eye cream earlier. I'll focus Fair Pink in the inner corner. Do the same on the other eye. The skin prep also helps this blend around more easily too. I'll go over some spots. I also like to put some on the outer corners of the eyes to brighten up that area too. Using the eye blending brush, I'll blend this out. I'm blending around any spots that I have rather than blending right over it. If you blend over it, you might find that you lose the coverage because the brush might pick up the color. You can also let this sit for a minute or two for additional coverage too. We'll go directly over top with shade 3. Again, making sure to place it up in the center corner. Sometimes if you look all the way down, you can really see the hollows. That can be helpful when you're applying concealer, just looking all the way down so you can see where those hollows and the darkness is. I have some unevenness on the rest of my face. I'll place a few more lines on the cheeks just to help with evening out the skin there. Shade 3 might be a little bit yellow for me, so I'll also use shade 5 and mix them together. Oftentimes we have yellow and pink tones to our skin, which is completely normal. It doesn't hurt to mix them together. People often wonder why they're recommended both yellow and pink tones, but the truth is your skin naturally has both of those tones. So it can be helpful to mix them so you can get the most natural looking coverage. I'll take the eye blending brush again and buff this out. I'm getting the majority of my coverage from the face pencils. You can definitely build the coverage with the WTF, but I find that the face pencils work better for coverage. I do really enjoy the finish of WTF and how it wears throughout the day, so I like to layer it right over this. I'm getting the bulk of my coverage and redness concerns taken care of with the face pencils and nothing else. People also think that the Miracle Balm in Bronze can help cover redness, but it just helps to distract from redness. It doesn't offer coverage. None of the Miracle Balms offer coverage. They just give the skin a nice sheer tint. I'll use my fingers and blend out the rest of the face. I'm also not being super particular about how much blending I'm doing because I'm going directly over top with the WTF anyway. I'll take what's left over on my finger and tap it onto the lid. Now my skin is looking a little more even. I'll go over it with one of my favorite products. This is the WTF. I'll pair it with the skin brush. I have the shade Ivory. I'll just use what's in my lid. This is how much I'm starting with. You can always build in sheer layers. The first line is always the most satisfying. You could wear the WTF on its own, especially if you don't have a lot of discoloration. I personally feel like I need to pair it with the face pencils, but you can totally wear it on its own. Here's what it's looking like so far. You could do another sheer layer if you wanted to, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. I'll go back into Sunkissed. This time I'm gonna pair it with the Everything brush. I'll dip the Everything brush in here and then I'll stipple the color on. I'm stippling it because I don't want to disturb the product I just laid down. I'm also gonna keep it up higher. I'm not gonna bring this too low. Bringing the color up higher will keep the face lifted. We are just adding more warmth and dimension to the skin. Now I'll use my all-time favorite product, which are the lip and cheek sticks. I have English Rose and Rosy Brown, which are two of my favorite colors. I think I'm gonna go for Rosy Brown because I have more rosy tones in my shirt today. I'm gonna rub this first on my fingers to warm up the natural oils in the formula. I'll tap it right onto the cheeks. I'll also put a little bit on my lips. If you ever feel like you have too much, just keep tapping it out. The lip and cheek sticks offer more pigment. The Miracle Balms are more sheer, so if you want a true pop of color on the cheeks, the lip and cheek stick might be better for you. Lip and cheek sticks are also more lightweight. I didn't use any powders on my skin because it's winter time and I feel like I don't really need the powder right now. But if you wanted this makeup to last 12 hours, you could dust a little powder over top. Any areas you have unwanted shine, you could tap a little bit of powder over those areas. This is the finished makeup look using only 5 products. These are my top 5 favorites from Jones Road. Aside from the skin prep, I only used mascara, the face pencils, Miracle Balm, WTF, and the lip and cheek stick to complete the full makeup look. You could forego some products if you wanted to keep it even more simple. I have another video for that where I only use mascara, Miracle Balm, and face pencils. But I feel like this is a really easy makeup look. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Hopefully you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in my next video.